Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of the show. I'm Joe, and I get to be the host today. And this is the very best part of my every single week. And today, this one is really going to be a fun one, an absolute just off the charts. I have the honor and privilege of spending time with a man who I think has logged more miles on his running shoes than I have with Delta Airlines. And one of the shiniest, happy people I know, the president of Clackamas Community College, Dr. Tim Cook. Tim, thanks for joining us today on the show, and welcome.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for putting in two of my favorite things, REM with that quote there, and then running marathons, for sure.
Yeah, and you're just recently coming back from a trip. I happened to be creeping on you, and you spent some time in the homeland of REM just recently. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I would just got back from Georgia. I have a goal to run a marathon in every state, and Georgia was state number 36. I've been looking forward to this one for a while because REM has been a favorite band of mine for probably 40 years. And so I knew when I was going to go out there that I was going to go to Athens and kind of recreate some of the spots where the band sort of started and grew up. So it was fun for a couple reasons, to run and then see my favorite band, see some places where they were.
Fantastic. And folks, I need to point out the obvious right out of the gates here. If you're watching this live, you'll know what I'm talking about, or on YouTube, you already know what I'm talking about. If you're listening, let me point out to you a little picture here. Sitting with me is the undisputable bow tie guy of higher education. I mean, every time I see President Cook on campus, in person, on social, there's this perfectly tied thing just sitting there like it's auditioning for a Wes Anderson movie. Tell me, Dr. Cook, I've got to know, when did you decide to become the bow tie guy?
Oh boy, I don't know that I formally decided. I think it kind of was one of those things that got decided for me. The story I tell was, I was a faculty member for years, and then when I decided to start being an administrator, I was asked to be a dean of students for a while. This is 20 years ago, actually. The rule was that we had to the president wanted the men to wear ties. And I was like, I really don't want to wear a tie. And so I said, I'll do something.
You don't really strike me as a tie guy.
Yeah, I don't think I own a long tie. And so I said, oh, well, I'll out of spite, I'll wear a bow tie because that's a little bit different. Still meets the rules. So you got to be careful when you do things like that. People loved it, and I got all these great compliments saying, "Boy, that looks really good on you," and so next thing I know, I buy a few more, and I'm wearing bow ties, and one day I decide not to wear one, and people are like, "Whoa, you okay? What's wrong?" Where's the bow tie?
Oh my
So
goodness.
fast forward 20 years later, it's become sort of my brand, as you point out. I mean, it's great. Students recognize it. I can go on trips and people recognize me in the airport, or, conferences and things like that. It's become something that is just a signature of mine. I tie all of them myself. I have over 100, and it's just, this is part of who I am. I don't run in them. I'll be clear about that. They change. But
although you would really be the bow tie guy if that was truly the case. Hey, on a serious note, I'm rereading this book. I just happened to just recall it's Together by Vivek Murthy, The Healing Power of Human Connection in a Sometimes Lonely World. And I see you, brother. I know you have a counseling background, right? And I've observed the care and attention that you give to your team, to your students, your faculty, your K-12 partners, your entire community. In the anthem, I think of that iconic REM, "Everybody Hurts," sometimes, right? Encouraging our listeners to persevere, right, through tough times. Clackamas is a very caring campus because of the culture that you have set. Leaders create cultures, and you are a very caring leader. So the question that I have, what are some of the personal routines that just help to keep you focused and energized and positive, and all of that creativity that comes just out of that amazing human being you are. What keeps that heart of yours warm in a world that can be so cold at times?
Mm. My answer to that's pretty simple, and it's the students. And I don't want that to sound trite at all. My story is I was a first generation college kid. I grew up 5 miles from this campus where I'm fortunate to be a president now. And I'm here because people looked out for me and helped me sort of find my way. And so my mission since I started out as a counselor working at a community college, 30 some years ago, a long time ago, is to every day do what I can to remove barriers, to help students accomplish what they need. And so I tell people now, even on my worst days, the hardest days that I have, I go out and talk to students about what they're working on, what they want to accomplish, and it's a great day. And so that's the heart of it for me is really really helping students achieve their goals and the mission there. So thank you for that note on culture and a kind, caring culture. I do really work on that, and I try to hire people who share those values. That we're really here trying to change lives, trying to change families, trying to change community systems, and through all that. So that's the answer.
Yeah, and the opportunity is so vast across your community, but every community in America today. Hey, for the five people out there that might not know about Clackamas, whose
Mhm.
mid- whose middle name is community, right? I learned that from you.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
learned that from you, right? It's a very unique institution of higher learning. Tell our viewers a little bit what makes it so.
Thank you. So Clackamas Community College, we're just south of Portland. We're about I think the fourth largest community college in Oregon, about 20,000 students head count annually, about 5,000, 5,500 FTE as we've come out of the pandemic. We are a big, large district, and it's really a purple district. So we really serve everybody here. Still very much it's interesting actually. The northern part is the Portland part's very urban, and then we get very rural pretty fast. And so we do a lot around horticulture, agriculture, manufacturing, and some pretty exciting work around that uh, over our three campuses.
Yeah, you cover a wide range and a very unique distribution of student base. Love it,
Mhm.
love it. You
For sure.
so on another fun note, you've got a little fun run planned in 2025.
I do. I
I, dude,
do.
are you okay? Are you
That's-
are you okay? What in the world got into your head? You've gone public with this commitment. I mean, you've thrown your hat over the fence now. Now you got to go
yeah,
get it. You've gone public with
I
what
have
is that
to.
commitment that you're
I have to do it this summer, and I've been thinking about this for a year or two. So I thank you for the question. Am I okay? I get that question all the time. I am planning to run to all 17 Oregon community colleges this summer. It's going to be 1,500 miles, 50 days. And it's about 50K per day. So about 32 miles per day is what I'll be doing. I'm running it by myself with a crew, with an RV following me. We've got each of the colleges will have people probably come out and run some miles with me, and they're, doing some other things. There's two goals really. One is we're trying to raise awareness for community college students and their basic needs. In Oregon, community college students make up 52% of all higher ed, public, private, and yet we don't have the marketing budgets, we don't get the attention, we don't have the football teams. So I'm hoping this will, as we run into these communities and people hear about this, that will raise some awareness. And then we're raising money. We're raising money for each of the colleges. People can donate to which college they want to. All that money, because we're getting sponsorships, goes directly to those local community colleges, to the students. For here, we're really focusing on housing needs, food needs, paying electric bills, and the rest, because that's what we're seeing that students need. So it's crazy, and I'll tell you, I know people understand how crazy it is when they say things like, "Are you okay?"
yeah.
It's
Right.
the people that go, "Oh yeah, good for you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you don't really understand sort of how crazy of a goal this is." So
Right.
mm,
Right. I want to be the guy that you might like push in the burly. just I want to be sitting and you just kind of push me some of the
You're
most
coming along.
beautiful countryside, right? I
I
actually hope to join you
you're
in a couple of months there.
miles with me, Joe.
Definitely, definitely. I haven't done the hard commitment like you have, but I'll give you a soft commitment. I'm still
Yeah.
we got a little hip issue. We're gonna get that thing healed up for you, but
Okay.
I got you, brother. I got
You,
you. Hey,
we can do one
right
of these
away. I
live.
want you to go ahead.
We can do one of these live from the road, when you come out. So
You know what? I think we've got an idea, folks. I think we have an idea. It might be our best followed show yet. Hey, brag away. You're definitely on the move in so many ways. Campus renovations, you've got expanding program options,
mhm.
leading the way with loads of workforce training innovations, flexible learning options for your people on the go. What are some of the most exciting initiatives currently underway at Clackamas?
Thank you. You mentioned community is our middle name, and for me, that's really about authentic collaboration, authentic partnerships. So we are always thinking about who we want to collaborate with. We just passed a local bond levy. We just found out this week. It was very tight, very close, but it passed. That's going to
Fantastic.
allow us to open a brand new center for excellence for horticulture, for wildland fire, for welding. And the exciting piece of that too is the Oregon State University Extension here in Clackamas County is going to actually come in with us and build or be part of that building and help us build it. And so that's a pretty exciting partnership that we're working on that is coming out of that. I would say also from a workforce apprenticeship perspective, we train about 1,400 apprentices. And this bond is actually going to let us create a workforce and apprentice training center at one of our other campuses and really go all in on workforce training and apprentice. We're known for that, but this is going to allow us to set us up, I think, for the next decade and really some of this great work around workforce training and apprenticeship programs.
Hmm.
So
You got a lot of
well,
good tailwind at the moment. But to shift soundtracks a little bit in higher ed, there's plenty of headwind as well.
hmm hmm
As a as a runner, as an athlete, you just got to change your strategies depending on the
yeah.
conditions. What's going on in higher ed right now that is a bit concerning, right? And potentially impacting what you've got going on within your campus community. Anything jump into mind?
Well, we don't know what will happen, with the changeover in federal leadership with the new president and, and the, comments about getting rid of the Department of Ed. I mean, there's just unknowns. Where I'm focusing right now, though, I mean, what we do know is in our community and, the work that we need to do here. Regardless of who's leading federally, that will have an impact. But we still need to do our hard work here and get that going. And so we have a lot of tailwind here pushing us forward as we kind of push into this unknown and see where that's going to go and what that's going to mean for us down the road.
Well, I firmly believe that every community college is the cornerstone of democracy for every
Mhm.
community, just doing the best good for what needs to get done. So I'm not too worried about it. I
Yeah.
don't think there's needing to be such a dependence on, oh my, wonder what, the what ifs, and because there's such a growing need within your community. That's the given. You are going to continue to show up and provide what is in demand, right? And profitable for you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, meets the needs of our business community and our, and everybody here. I mean, that work doesn't change. We
Right.
need to be an open, accepting place for everybody, where they can come and achieve their dreams. I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's the fundamental piece of it. That doesn't change.
Love it. I can just see it on the billboard. We are the place to achieve your dreams. You maybe already
That's
have that. Hey, your peers are tuning in today, and they're also running as fast as you are and trying to close gaps on their campus and growing programs, and maybe lifting hope as well in a world that just could use a little more lifting these days. Any closing as we come in for a landing here, Tim? Any closing thoughts, wisdom, encouragement that you would share with your friends, your colleagues in the
mm.
business of transformation today?
Yeah. I was telling my leadership team this the other day. I mean, what we have to do always is remember our why. why we're in this work, why we do what we do, and why the work matters so much. So, as our work gets more complex, as we get to be doing harder, better, which, we all are, it's a crazy time to be a community college president. It's a hard job. But if we remember why we are doing this, and specifically, those students and why it matters, that's the kind of thing that gets me excited every morning. And I hope it gets my colleagues and others excited too. We do really important work. And I'm not just kind of, tooting my own horn or anything like that. I mean, I think our mission matters. I think the work we do really matters to communities.
I challenged a campus just last week who I was with in person, had them read their mission statement. And then I said, now add the word because at the end of that. And it just empowers it. And I said, now, can you answer it? Because they're the same probably words smithed together, similar to what you have there. But the because statement was that critical piece that would say, our community might not survive without us.
That's right.
That gives a whole new meaning to showing up to work today, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. So that's that why that you referred to. So, Dr. Cook, thank you. Thank you so much. I wish we had more time. We will be bringing you back for sure, either like in motion or back in office, but we've covered just a smidge of the good and productive things. And I would definitely encourage our viewers to keep CCC on the watch as a campus, modeling a very, very, very impressive way. I think you can find them on the web at clackamas.edu, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. To our viewers out there, go ahead.
I'm happy to follow up with anyone who wants to reach out.
Very good. And I'm sure they can do all they can find you on LinkedIn and other places as well. Probably Runner's World magazine, perhaps.
Not yet.
Hey, we got to wrap up, but our viewers, thanks for joining us. This has been The Show with Joe, reminding you that everyone deserves to live in a community served by healthy leaders like this amazing human right here who are building healthy teams and leading highly reliable systems. Before we wrap up, one last thing. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you found any value in today's conversation, please take a moment, support the cause, do what all the kids do, right? Hit the button, leave a comment, share the episode with a colleague, subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Your engagement really helps us to access more leaders and continue to bring you more valuable content from the brightest learning leaders across America. Until next time, this is Dr. Joe on purpose to cancel any and all things average. Peace and press on, friends.